this up for people because they might not know what this is about. Okay? So this clip is taken from a press conference given by the Utah governor. There were also some notable law enforcement personnel that were present. Behind them is FBI Director Kash Patel. This was just before, this is right after they caught the shooter of Charlie Kirk. This press conference was to kind of bring the people up to speed, bring the community up to speed, the world, it should say, the world, because this was national news, right? I want to let everybody know that they have somebody in suspect, they've apprehended a suspect, and this was supposed to make people feel better. I'm playing this clip because this governor said something, and I like to call it the wake-up call to the dum-dums. The tether wake-up call. It's the immigrant wake-up call. It's the non-white people but think they white people but they are not black people and don't want to be. Wake-up call. With that in mind, let's roll.
With Tim Black.
And for 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country.
I want everybody to focus closely on Kash Patel's face. Kash Patel obviously is of Middle Eastern descent. I'm not sure where he's from. Notice the look on his face as the white supremacist Utah Jazz governor lets him know, lets the whole world know, we wish it was somebody else. Because we were hoping, I was hoping and praying it wasn't going to be one of us white bread, farm bred people. Now check it out.
I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for.
Look at Kash Patel's reaction, son. You see his eyes? You see how angry he got for a second? For a second, he remembered, oh shit, they talking about me. Yeah, they talking about me. That's what they talking about. I'm who they're talking about. Or people that look like me. Yeah, Kash, they talking about you. You, Red Dot. They talk about you, brother. They don't like you. They didn't like you because you're the FBI director. Nobody wants problems. Neither do I. And we know the FBI loves to give people problems. But see, Kash Patel, his reaction was that of a natural reaction. He didn't have time to fake it. He didn't like what he heard come out of the mouth of the Utah governor, who said, hey, at first it was okay. It was like, look, I was hoping it's somebody from out of state. Why not just leave it there? That's good. You want it to be somebody outside your state. You like to say, my state has good people. We don't shoot people. So that's dumb because they have shootings in Utah. That's a dumb thing to say. But then to say, hey, I wish it was somebody else from somewhere else. You know, like black or Asian or Hispanic or migrant, immigrant or Muslim or trans. Folks, any other person, any other type of people they can make it be. They would be happy with that. That's what you got to know about these people that, look, and this is the Charlie Kirk supporters that have been online that I've been seeing. They were livid, fam. I saw videos on TikTok. They were saying things like, it's going to be a civil war. It's going to be a civil war. We're going to go to war. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to do. All right, we got you. We got you. You want to do this to Charlie? They start quoting all type of biblical verses about what they're going to do, raining down wrath of vengeance, visiting vengeance to your doorstep. Fam, they called up 7 HBCUs and threatened to bomb them. At least 7. It's probably more because that's when I saw. This is more information I gathered early Friday. It could have grown since early Friday. 7 historically black colleges and universities were threatened that they were going to be bombed. They had to either shut down, shelter in place, or cancel classes because white nationalists, Charlie Kirk supporters, and MAGA supporters, I don't know what they were. I mean, but come on, guys. It wasn't black organizations, right? It wasn't the mean, dangerous black people, right? It wasn't the YNs. And we need to stop buying into that type of language when they calling us that, when they call them referring to my young people like that. I have 2 sons. They're not YNs, they're young men. The young black American men. That's what they are. Stop buying into bullshit. Stop using the language of the very people that think all of us are garbage. They don't spend time to get to know you. They only like celebrities that this one's special. He's different. He's special. He's different. I wish everybody was like him. You don't know what anybody's like. You hate black people in general. But the point is, they thought it was somebody else. They were praying that it was somebody else. He said the words out loud. And then when it wasn't, and all of a sudden, things have changed. So they went from thinking maybe it was a black person, maybe a Hispanic person. Come on, no one thought it was an Asian. That only happened once at the University of Virginia, wasn't it? I remember it was an Asian dude shot up a university, shot some people in the university. I covered that. It was 2016, 2015. Not saying they're incapable, I'm just saying it doesn't usually happen. Then they went to, maybe it's trans. There's only been like 5 trans shooters in the histories of shootings. Hundreds of shootings, it's been like 5 trans people, and now they're like, it's a trend of trans people coming. Now, I rock with criticizing trans men playing sports with women, trans women playing sports with biological women, or just women. Let's just call them just women. How about women? How about women? That's what we used to call them. And no one called us racist or nothing. You know how hard it's been to live in this country? Now we're changing everything. But anyway, here's the point. They thought it was going to be black because there wasn't anybody black. They was hoping it was a black, Latino, Asian, Native American, migrant, immigrant, Muslim, trans, and they got all the way down. At the end of the day, it's a white guy. And now they're trying to say the white guy, but he dated a trans. That's how bad it is. And now all of a sudden, no one's talking about civil war. No one's talking about what's going on. Now nobody wants to crucify the person who did it. No one wants to go after the killer now. No one's talking about going and getting him out to jail. No one's talking about how the hell he do this. No one's talking about, hey, what's up with his parents? What's going on? Because they're red. They are dyed in red Republicans who say they don't even know no leftists, don't even know no Democrats. They don't socialize with no Democrats. It's red Utah. And all of a sudden, all this talks about how they're going to get even and get violent, that's calmed down. They will quiet now because it's one of their people. And now here comes the excuses. Now they're saying, but what's going on? What radicalized him? If it would have been a black person, nobody would have asked them what radicalized them. That's because they believe black people are already radical, don't they? Our skin color makes us radical. May the church say amen. To them, a 3-year-old black kid is radical. A 5-year-old, a 7-year-old black kid is radical enough that a white woman can get millions of dollars donated to her just for calling him the N-word and people criticizing her for it. I digress, family. The FBI director, if he was truly going to be a man of the people, maybe he'd really consider what kind of country he's actually policing. I wonder if that will influence his FBI powers. This could not have felt good, having to sit there while this follically challenged, unmelanated Mr. Mayo basically outs to the world how racist he is and how he otherizes people that are not white. That's what he just did, fam.
Somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for. Just because I thought.
Cash Patel looked mad as hell, man. I don't know if I want to mess with dude. Look, Cash. I want the problems. I want the problems. You seem pretty pissed off. He shifted weight on his foot. When somebody shifted weight on their foot like that, usually they're about to cold cock you. They're about to sucker punch you. When a brother does this right here, when someone does this while you're talking, and this guy's got the punchable Tucker Carlson face too.
Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for. Just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. Sadly, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for. Just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place.
It's a special place. That's a place. That's the place where they shot Charlie Kirk in cold blood in front of thousands of people. That's how special it is. Q-tip. Yeah, real special. Spatula face. Yeah. Yeah. Milk. Yeah, man. I think it's high time, man. People need to accept that what kind of government we got running us, man. And what type of people are actually overseeing things in our country. That's the governor of a state otherizing people. It doesn't matter. Now, for the record, man, if he would have said, I wish it was somebody who was not from our state, because I'm ashamed that this person is a resident of the state. That'd have been fine. No one can argue. All types of people live in a state. But when you guys start breaking people up into groups, it sounds bad. And yeah, it sounds bad. And then what he goes on to do after that, I don't have the whole thing. I got maybe 20 more seconds. I don't know if he gets into it or not, but he starts trying to compare it to George Floyd riots. And I've noticed this going trend where people are comparing a man shot by another citizen, a citizen shot by a citizen, comparing that to people being outraged about a state official, which is a police officer, who's paid by the state, killing a civilian, a citizen. For some reason, they're comparing the two. And for some reason, we got people that I thought kind of had smarts. Like they went to school a couple years. They didn't all drop out in 5th grade. Some of them went to college even. And they act like they don't understand the very simple difference between when a citizen shoots another citizen, if there was a riot every time a citizen shot another citizen, there would be no more U.S. That's different than an elected official or a government or a state employee, a cop, killing an unarmed citizen. That's different. We don't know that there's a difference there. So, I don't know how far it goes. Let's see before we switch out.
We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here. I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for.
Next on deck.
Yeah, it wasn't answered, but you know what? My prayer was answered. My prayer was answered. My prayer is that it wasn't a Black American, because we got enough shit going on. Yeah, we got enough going on, fam. It doesn't really matter, because whether we did it or not, somehow our name gets brought up in the conversation. Either we didn't cry hard enough for you, because we all know when white people cry, Black people gotta cry or something's wrong. And they could get away with it. They'd lynch us for not crying with them. Because that's the rule. If a white person is not feeling good, you got to be sick. On the plantation, it was a very common practice that when the master was sick, everybody was sick. Oh, master, we sick? I think Malcolm X talked about this. Oh, master, are we sick? There was no individualism. We were property bought, sold, and controlled. And if the boss wasn't having a good day, if master wasn't having a good day, we wasn't having a good day. If master was upset, we was upset for him. If something was wrong, it was our job to fix it. And if we couldn't fix it, we just wallow in it with it's a bad day. Master not feeling well. I don't feel well because master not feeling well. How I'm going to be happy when master not happy? Gosh. And that's how it still is. Looking over the internet right now, that's what I'm seeing. But yeah. And I think there are other groups as well, not just Black Americans. I think other groups probably did the same thing. I'm pretty sure if you were undocumented right now, you hoping, man, just stop, don't do nothing. It's like, don't do nothing. Let's get Trump out of office. Don't do nothing. We'll get another Biden in there. Stay down. Keep your head down. It is what it is. It is what it is. But as a Black American, and I've been Black my whole life, all I can do is speak for myself. Maybe it resonates with some of y'all. When things like this happen, the first thing I think is, God, don't let that be one of us, because we ain't going to hear the end of it. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter if it's one of us, because they find a way to make us a part of the conversation. They found a way to put blame on us, even when it's got nothing to do with us. Now, we didn't have nothing to do with Charlie being offed. It's one white organization versus another white organization, some internal right-wing nonsense, some gang violence, some white-on-white gang violence going on, right? Less than 1% of Black people are even involved in that. Maybe Officer Tatum and, Candace Owens, and that little short, the vertically challenged guy that's not funny. The little mascot that Trump adopted, the little mascot that puts on wigs and try to mock people, but not funny at all. I forget his name. Doesn't matter. Somehow we get our name brought up in it to the point where HBCUs got threatened to be blown up. And they've done it before. It's not like you can just not take it. It's not as if we shouldn't take that seriously. We have to take it seriously because they get violent and blow up our shit. They get violent and blow up our churches, shoot up our churches, shoot up our shopping centers, or shoot up our grocery centers. This happens. So you can't just be like, oh, Tim, you're exaggerating. No, it actually happens. So, yeah. Utah governor should not be elected governor, but he'll probably be elected governor in a landslide. And they will not hold themselves nor the warring factions against one another, anything not to have a conversation about what the hell is going on in white America. What's going on with the right? And it's disgusting. We're going to get further into it because it's part of another story. I'm going to leave it there, folks. Let me know what you think. I think the Utah governor is garbage. I think Kash Patel was reacting like a normal person reacts to this type of racist nonsense. I'm pretty sure he's been around it before. But just goes to show you, no matter how high you get, they're going to talk down and look down on you, Cash. Had to run out sometime. all them good feelings that Trump put you in that slot. Yeah, that didn't take long. Right back to being a saying N-word, huh? That's what they do to you. That's what they do. He knew you were standing behind him. You think he forgot? I saw him turn and look at you, Cash. Yeah, go after the radical right. Go after the radical right, Cash. Next. Y'all ready? Where we at, fam? We good? Who's in the building tonight? We live? We got my people in the building? Who's in the building tonight, man? He made it clear. He made it very clear, fam. He made it clear. It wasn't even no innuendo. And that's the thing about it. You know, this video will go out. I'm going to share it on multiple platforms. And it's nothing to argue with. The guy said it very plainly. And there will still be people in the comment section who would deny. And they'll call me a race baiter for bringing it up. They won't be upset that Dum said it out loud in front of the whole world. They'll be upset that I made a video about it and talked about it. That's why I don't listen to some criticism, man, I don't even pay attention to at all. Because I know where it's coming from. They have no criticism of themselves. And neither do the black tokens that be on their side. They ain't gonna bite their hand and feed them. They ain't gonna criticize. Just as quiet. All right. Next. Galaxy Ravens in the house as well as basic coding. That's a new one. The Archers returns, but it's the blacks. They try to make it the blacks. Prophet with you. Prophet with yo is in the building. Million Man marches in UKK. Oh, you know what's funny? That's funny you brought that up, fam. I think we're going to have room for it. We're going to have room for it. Thank you for bringing it up. I appreciate you because I don't want to forget this thing. Robinson. Perfect. Let's go on, guys. Let's do it. Let's get into Gary Owen. Let's go to the next video, Gary Owen, fam.
Right when I went to go record yesterday, Charlie.
All right, folks, I'm sorry. Here we go. Let's cover Gary Owen, guys. I want to be honest with you for a second. Let me tell you. I like Gary Owen. I do not. I didn't see this in my bingo card. I saw this video yesterday. I said, wait till tomorrow. I don't know what the hell Gary was thinking. Let's go.
Right when I went to go record yesterday.
Oh, this is not the right one. The one I want is longer. Damn it. Hold on, guys. This is not the one. This is not the one. There's a short version. Because this one gets right into it. He says a whole lot of stuff. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on a second, guys. Did I not copy over the full Gary Owen? Bastard. I got to get the Gary Owen, guys. I got no choice. Got to get the Gary Owen joint. Shit. Here we go. Hold on, guys. Let's get the Gary Owen.
Right when I went to go record yesterday, Charlie Kirk.
All right, guys, got it. Let's do it. All right, Gary. All right, guys, this is a full video. And you know what, guys? I'm going to tell you, I knew this was going to be bad for Gary when I saw that it was 18 minutes. We're not going to do the whole 18 minutes, but I want you to know, when I saw the length of the video, I said, oh, shit. Just when I saw it was 18 minutes, I already knew it was going to be bad for him. Yeah, Gary Owen talking about politics for 18 minutes. You know, I may have 18 minutes worth of material at this point. There was a time when I had 10 minutes worth of comedy material. Comedians build up their material. You don't, if you're ever interested in being a comedian, you need to build 5 minutes at a time. This is what I learned. Okay, so all I needed was a good 5 minutes, but it had to be a killer 5 minutes. You get 5 minutes and then you build on it joke by joke and you add a couple minutes here and there. To the point where you got 10, 15 minutes, that's a good set. Most of the time, that's all you're gonna need to do is about 15 minutes. And as you come with new material, you can take something away, add something better, keep improving, keep extending it till you got a half an hour. When I saw that Gary Owen on the fly did 20 minutes of political content, I already knew he's gonna boo-boo all in the bed. That's what I knew. I knew he's gonna need to flip the box spring, okay? And I don't mean that in the J.D. Vance way either. All right, fam, let's go. This was bad for Gary.
Right when I went to go record yesterday, Charlie Kirk got shot. And then it took a couple hours, and then it came out he passed away. And, I go to X or Twitter, and that's where I heard about it. And I don't know how I came across the most graphic video I've seen. I've seen all the different angles of how he got shot. I couldn't watch this again. But when I saw him get shot in the neck and the blood just started really gushing out immediately, I go, there's no way he survived that. There's just no way. And then it came out. He passed away. I'm pretty sure he was gone before he got to the hospital. I think I've seen the best and the worst out of people when stuff like this happens. For me, there's a reason I don't do politics. I don't talk a lot of politics anymore. I stay clear of it because it's so divisive. It's so unhealthy.
Yeah, and you would wonder, why is he not staying out of it now? Yeah, as a white guy in a black genre, which is black comedy, which I don't know why what we was thinking. He's not Eminem level. Yeah, man, look, man. And like I said, don't get me wrong, man. I like Gary. Gary, you are a guest. You're a guest. We're hosting you as a guest in black comedy. And I ain't tripping, man. You got a career. You built it for a long time. A lot of us know Gary for years. So don't get it twisted. I like Gary. But if I'm being honest, and I hope to be honest all the time, you're kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? You're not funnier than the guy that I drank beer with. You know, guy I used to hang with at school when we went to get beers. I'm just saying, that's the thing. And so I don't know why Gary felt, and besides that, because that's all relative. We all decide who we like, who we don't like. My thing is, all I'm saying is, why would Gary do this? Why would he mess up his brand on this guy? Now, I know why. So I'm being rhetorical. We know the real reason why Gary is talking right now. He wasn't talking when it was a black guy getting shot in the face. I don't know if he did content when Tyree Nichols got beat to death. I don't know if he did content when Philando Castile was shot in his car. I don't know if he talked about Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland. I don't know. I never looked for him for that. But Gary, a guy who knows politics is divisive, said, bump it. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to talk politics because it's important to him. Why is this story important to him? As you listen to him, remember, he said, I don't do this, y'all. I used to stay out of politics, but I got to talk now. Why you got to talk now, Gary? Hey, don't save him. Don't try to save him, black comedians. Let Gary answer for himself. Why you got to talk now, Gary? Why you feel a need to talk now, Gary? I talked about Tony Temple when he got killed by cops. Yeah, I talked about Tony Temple, big white guy, they killed him. But why are you talking now? Let's keep going, fam. Let's keep going. So he's off the top. He's defending Charlie Kirk, obviously, and he knows who Charlie Kirk is. Because I had people calling me. I had black people call me, was like, who the hell is Charlie Kirk? Phoning me. I had black people phone me. Family members phone me and say, hey, who is this guy? I said, damn, I saw this in my timeline. I don't even know who this guy is. I know you know, bro. Who is this guy? They didn't even know who Charlie Kirk is. Gary knows who Charlie Kirk is. And he still made this video.
From my perspective, my day-to-day life is the people I interact with. My friends, my manager, my neighbors, people run into at the airport. I don't try to engage in any kind of political talk. I took a lot of heat, not a lot. Social media heat isn't really heat. I took some heat when last month I was in DC and somebody asked me about Trump, because Trump had the National Guard out in the streets of DC. He was trying to clean up the streets, get all the young people off the streets or something like that. I don't live in DC. I didn't research enough on it. But a guy asked me what I think of Trump and what he's doing. And I was like, I don't live in DC. And I made a joke like, ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't live in DC. And people were like, man, if you don't stand for something, then you're part of the problem. Well, Charlie Kirk stood for something and it got him killed.
There we go. There we go. See, this is my problem. This is my problem. What do you stand for, Gary? See, this is a problem. This is why, man, I saw this. I showed this to Mrs. Black. Me and my wife were sitting back. I said, baby, you gotta see this. I'm trying to get something to eat before the show. So let's look at this while I'm eating, because I'm gonna talk about it tonight. I want to know what I'm talking about, because I like Gary, and I really don't want to get him if I don't have to get him. Gary made it impossible not to get him. He made it impossible. Let's get him. This mofo just said, hey, he was just talking, sharing his opinion. You're just talking, sharing his opinion. You're just a kid talking with thoughts. Okay. Unleash the hounds.
So I'm like, politics it's supposed to be something we bring this country together. I don't think there's a more divisive thing. I think politics are more divisive than religion. And this just goes to show it. Whoever did this, and by the time this airs, maybe they've already caught the guy. As of now, there's a person of interest. They got a picture of a guy. There's not a doubt this guy's got military training. There's no way you can shoot somebody from 200 yards away on a rooftop. And I'm thinking he was aiming for his head, but the wind probably caught it, and it caught him right here. That's somebody that's trained to shoot a weapon. I didn't agree with probably 80% of the stuff I've heard come out of Charlie Kirk's mouth. But I will say He's a guy that stood in his beliefs, whether I agree with him or not. I think in his own way, he wanted this country to be a better place. I don't agree with some of the racial stuff he said.
Some of it. I don't agree with 80% of the stuff that comes out of his mouth. And you don't agree with some of the racial stuff he says. This is going to get bad, Gary, for you. This might lose your custody of your black son or black daughter. I don't think you have custody of your kids anyway. This won't help you in alimony or child support court with your wife. And I don't know if you're going through any of that, but this is a bad thing to do all the way around. This guy said some very negative things about black women and about black people in general. And you know he made those statements, and you're still like, hey, this will be a good time for me to talk politics. Because some dumbass I don't know on a comedy show says you got to stand up for something. And you already know politics is divisive. People been killed over politics, probably the most. People randomly get killed over politics. We already know this. We had people get killed in Minnesota. So he's not like, people think Gary's a kid. Gary's a grown-ass man. He's 50-something years old. People think he's a little dude. They just think that because he got, well, I'm Goofy Gary. Gary's like 6'2". He built like a linebacker. Gary's a grown-ass man. He can handle his own, and he's about to step in a tub of horse shit and then lick his boots clean. That's what he's about to do.
It's interesting because he spoke to over like 150 college campuses. He's been on.
Spoke to. No, he tried to indoctrinate and recruit, dummy. Yeah, hey, look, folks. Let's cut the shit. He wasn't there to he was there to try to recruit people into his organization. He was there to grow his 3,500 strong office organization, a Turning Point USA, which is basically controlled by MAGA. He's had on various cabinet members of the Trump administration. I mean, you're definitely, by going this route and acting, not knowing shit. We're talking about a guy that's well funded by billionaire Republicans like the Koch brothers in the Bradley organization to the tune of $90 million a year budget. $90 million a year is how much money they gave Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is not some upstart little kid. Once again, they love to make, it's something weird, man. White people are always seen as being younger and innocent, bright-eyed and noble. And black people seen, no matter how, Tamir Rice was 12, they treated him like he was 25 years old. Like he just got off doing a 10-year bid or something. Like he was a hardened criminal. He was 12. Our kids seem like adults and their adults seem like kids. Bars. One more time. They treat our kids like adults, and they treat their adults like kids. Bars. That's a good one. Don't steal my shit.
Hundreds of podcasts, and I've seen the same 3 videos since he died. It's the same 3. It's the one where he said, unfortunately, I want to keep my Second Amendment rights, and it stinks, but there's going to be people that die.
I don't think he said it stinks. See, Tommy's putting powdered sugar on top of shit. That's not what he said, and I support the Second Amendment, as in I support the right for people to have guns until we get all the guns off the streets. I'm not going to have my people sitting around with no gun. They're not going to be naked when everybody else got clothes on. We're going to have some clothes on too. And only a fool would say, oh, let's take all our clothes off, but everybody else got clothes on. It's hard to fight in bare feet. So in that same token, yeah, we're going to be down for. So I understand that. But don't put sugar on it. He wasn't like, oh God, well, I guess we gotta own guns. I don't know, God. He wasn't like that. And he was mockingly about the empathy. He was mockingly. Forget your crying. People gotta die. The way Gary's telling it's like it's an after-school special.
Die because of guns, but he's like, but it sucks, but
Yeah, nobody understands. It sucks, man. Yeah. It's bullshit. Gary can be canceled. There ain't many people we can cancel. Gary, of all the white people we can cancel, you're about the only white person I can think of that we can truly cancel. Eminem sells way too many white records to be canceled by black people. But your ass, I don't think you sell out that much with the whites. We all you got, sucker, and here you go doing this.
that's the cost of having your Second Amendment rights. But he also said in that people conveniently left out was, even if we get rid of guns, people are still going to die of guns if we make guns illegal. They're going to.
You make it sound like it was all pleasant and all sweet and cute and loving and oh gosh. Hey guys, listen, this is what we have to do. I know it's unfortunate. Those poor children were slaughtered. That's not how it was said, and he said it multiple times.
Going to find a way to get them. So let's keep them legal so people that want to protect their families and their homes can keep the guns. But they left that part out.
Okay.
You know? So I was like,
Other point.
but yeah, and then
the other one.
I saw
Keep going.
another video.
He's trying to think how to say it so it don't sound effed up. I've got a lot of Charlie clips. Okay, let's see which one he's going to pull out of his ass right here. He's going to try to make it seem indifferent, like there's different ways to look at it. Let's see what Gary has to say. Come on, Gary, let's get to it.
Where he was talking about, I don't know if I trust a black pilot, because of, hiring practices, how we got to hire minorities and stuff. He said, if I got on a plane, I don't know if I really feel like that was the best pilot for that flight.
Look how he just sweetened that shit up, man. That's a lot of sucralose. It's a lot of splendor in that coffee. Is that sweet and low? Jesus. Is that an equal? You stuck an equal into my coffee? Give my coffee black, fam. I don't need nothing in it, fam. You put a bunch of equal packets. I don't want them light blue fuckers. Did you put a pink packet, a saccharin in my shit? He's trying to sweet down the truth, man. Charlie Kirk says, I don't think black people are cognitively capable. They could be qualified as well as white people to do shit like fly planes. He didn't just say fly planes. He said surgeons, anything that takes skill. Anything besides rapping and playing basketball. Or maybe telling jokes. Or making music like Kanye. That's what he was on, Johnson. And you up here trying to beautify it. And like I said, this is not a goal of mine. It was not a goal to come out here and roast the shit out of Gary Owen. But look, Gary Owen, a grown-ass man. He up here trying to clean up Charlie Kirk's background. Charlie Kirk said, because of DEI, which tries to say everyone qualified, and we're talking about jobs that you got to have a fucking accreditation to do. This training you have to do. To be a pilot takes, 15,000 hours of flying? Most pilots flew in the military. They flew planes already for the U.S. government. We got flight records. We know their performance level. You can't just say, hey, I know what I'm doing. It's not like running a podcast, Gary. You got to have a certification to be a pilot. Most of them are college educated, and most of them came from our military. They've already been flying planes with payloads on them. They drop bombs, dude. They can carry people if they can carry bombs. They kill people. So, but Gary's trying to clean it up. He's not just saying, hey, a guy got killed. I feel bad to see life lost. I'm out. He could have done that and been fine. But he's literally arrogant enough. Gary is so white. he feels like he's able to have this conversation. Even though he started by saying people get shot for having conversations. So just admit, Gary, that's not really what happened with Charlie Kirk. Nobody hit him because he said mad things about black people. But the point is, he said degrading things about black people, and that was enough to get off your radar. That was not enough for you to say, no more of this guy. And you were married to a black woman and had black kids. You got a man saying your daughter and your son are not going to be smart enough to do certain shit just because they black. And you know what? You didn't even stop listening to the dude. In fact, you have such an allegiance to your whiteness that you're willing to throw your career behind your career. You have such an allegiance to your whiteness that you're willing to toss your career in a trash can, in the garbage disposal, son, over a guy who just said your son and your daughter, no matter what they do, they don't have the aptitude to be pilots or surgeons. And you knew all of this, and you went to bat for him. There are people that don't know Charlie. They don't know these clips. Did I overlook them because they don't even know shit? I had people write me and say, man, I didn't even know he said this shit, Tim. Thanks for putting that clip in. Thanks. I didn't even know he said that. In my algorithm, not even showing those clips. Gary knows those clips exist and still made this video. So he deserves whatever heat he gets. He's asking for it. He wants to smoke. Gary wants to go viral. Congratulations.
And again, I'm only seeing snippets. I don't know what the full discussion was that led to that. Like, I don't know what question was asked to make him say.
Motherfucker, what question somebody got to ask that will make you say black people should be able to fly planes? What could there be? What kind? This, I don't know what was happening. When you cut on the film a guy stabbing another guy with a knife, you're like, well, I don't know. Maybe you asked for it. Maybe I got to see the whole film. When they were beating the shit out of Rodney King, well, I don't know why they did it. Maybe he said something and really pissed the officers off. I had to see what happened. Maybe he had a machine gun when they ran up on him. I don't know. Charlie Kirk said that Trayvon Martin stalked and hunted down Zimmerman. Seen that clip? I've seen it. He's a liar. And you saying you didn't know those things about him says you're a liar too, Gary. This dude said Trayvon Martin went looking for Zimmerman, hunted him down, and Zimmerman didn't do anything but defend himself from being hunted by the savage thug. And we know that's not how that happened. Once again, 17-year-old Trayvon treated like grown-ass man. Zimmerman treated like a child who was afraid of Trayvon, even though he was the one with the gun. Trayvon didn't have a gun, Zimmerman did. Who was stalking who? But anyway, back to Gary. Let's let Gary finish up. Gary, hey, look, man, there's a saying, I forget how it goes, but basically it says when your enemy's digging his own grave, let him.
Say that and everything. So my thing is, he was not a threat to society. He wasn't out here breaking the law. He was going into the quote unquote lion's den numerous times. He went on Bill Maher. He would go on people that had different political beliefs than him.
Okay, here we go, guys. We're going to stop there, man, because Gary, what he's saying don't make no damn sense. First of all, it's a sentiment I heard a lot of white folks say. They say it's just talk. You know what? You don't understand how life is for black people in America. Just talk turns into someone else's just violence against us. We just saw what just happened. If this isn't the perfect example of when Charlie puts this type of shit out, the negative comments that Charlie put out about black Americans can put black Americans at risk. His death put black Americans at risk, and we had nothing to do with it. This guy, Tyler didn't shoot Charlie Kirk because he said things about black people. Tyler is allegedly is a part of an organization that's farther right than Charlie Kirk's organization. So that's not why he did it. But who got the death threats? Did I don't know, did Harvard get death threats? Did the University of Florida, I don't know, did Florida A&M get, maybe A&M, maybe they did. What white schools, what predominantly white institutions, PWIs, got bomb threats when Charlie got killed? So basically what I'm trying to tell you is this incident is a basic explainer to what I'm saying. It confirms my point. And my point is that when someone like Charlie Kirk, with the reach that Charlie Kirk has, that can influence a bunch of morons in incels to do dumb things, to say dumb things with ideology that degrades black people, those people act on that. They have the potentiality to act on dumb shit. It doesn't even matter if he says do it or not. When you over and over tell people that black people are unqualified, cannot perform well, what about the people that listen to that believe that or that are convinced by him, and then they tell Dad, hey, Dad, why you hiring so many black people at work? Oh, Dad, you had another black person? Why you keep hiring black people? Charlie Kirk says, and I can prove it to you, that black people are unqualified. They get jobs they're not qualified for. Dad's walking around with that in his head. Maybe Dad's dumb. Dad says, yeah, you're right. Maybe you're right. I shouldn't hire black people. I don't know. I have no idea how that works. But what I'm saying is, for you to treat it as if it doesn't matter, as if it has no potential downsides for us, first of all, it shows you ain't us. Because when black people start talking about white people be listening. White people be like, what? Yeah, because they wonder if there can be any bad ramifications for white people. They're concerned about it because people, that's how people think. So what I'm saying basically is, Gary, when you discount everything that Charlie Kirk says and make it just conversation, when you are degrading a group of people, an entire group of people, that's not opinions. That's not a point of view. That's called racism. When I'm going after racist, that's a subset of a group. That's not every white person. Charlie Kirk didn't say black people that drop out of school, black people that don't learn how to fly planes shouldn't fly planes. He was questioning any black person flying a plane. That's all black people, sir. That's all black people that might like aviation. You understand what I'm saying? That's called racism. Gary is too old to be this dumb. He played fast and loose with the truth. I think he's lying. He knows exactly who Charlie Kirk is. He knows exactly all the negative shit he says. And it's horrible for a guy who has black kids. This goes to show you, man. They can sleep black. They can make black babies. But there are some people, and I'm not going to say all. Because I'm not Charlie Kirk. But there are some white people that you just, I don't know if they ever get over it, man. And the fact that Gary Owen, the guy who owes his entire career to black Americans. We fed this dude for 30 years, 25 years. He's eating almost exclusively off black America. This guy don't even understand. Charlie Kirk said that black women didn't have the brain processing power to hold certain positions. You can say what you want about Ketanji Brown Jackson because she didn't want to say what a woman was. I've criticized that, but I didn't say she was stupid. I didn't say she was incapable of learning. I disagree with Joy Reid. See, here's the difference. I disagree with Joy Reid on her politics for the Democratic Party. I'm not a Democrat. But I would say she's incapable of processing information. That is eugenics. That is genetic shit. Charlie Kirk was spreading racist genetic shit to his audience. and to people that will, anybody will listen. And going to a college when you are 30 years old and talking to 19 and 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds. That could be a form of child abuse almost. I mean, he's there with scripts that he's already prepared, of talking points, of lies to tell, and the ability to cut off people's mic and talk over them. Stop acting like these debates are good. No one learns shit at a Charlie Kirk event. That's not where you learn it. So Gary Owen, I do not have the ability to withdraw your black card, and I didn't give you one, frankly. But you're a prime example of what happens to people that get way too comfortable. You got way too comfortable with Black America, Gary. Way too comfortable. You were visiting in our house, and this shit right here, this right here, 80% of what he says you disagreed with, but you still stuck your neck out for 20% of agreement. No, you stuck your neck out because he's a white guy. And I don't know if you noticed that, Gary. I don't know if you heard. I don't know if they tell you this on the road. But people die every day, B. And so do careers, Gary. So do careers. I'm going to leave it there, fam. I don't know what possessed him, fam. We grew up with this guy on Comic View, whatever, what that Comic View? Why would you do this? For Charlie Kirk, you dumbass. He can't even hire you. At least Officer Tatum has a reason. He won't be accepted in any black sororities anyway. He can't come kicking at the picnic. He got no choice. He got to ride the horse he rode in on. Hope he can get some Koch brothers money. Take up the reins. What's your excuse? Idiot. All right. I don't get it. Okay, next, guys. All right, now is where I'll remind you that the Tim Black Show streams Monday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10:30 p.m. right here. Go to jointimblack.com, become a member of this show. We don't pull punches. We do not play games. Do it today. All right, y'all. Y'all ready? That went a little longer than I wanted, man. So much I wanted to say. Where we at? Let's go D.L. Hughley. Let's go D.L. Hughley and Don Lemon for 300. I don't want to have to leave and go get this. I hope this is here. Well, you know what? Let's do some reactions instead. Let's do some Charlie reactions before we get to D.L. Hughley.
What's wrong with you? I mean, what is wrong with you? That you can...
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Jesus Christ. My son prepared this clip for me, man. Darren Johnson, where's my intro, man? You don't just put a Stacey Dash in front of a brother's face like that on live streams. Let it fade in. Let it fade in, Johnson. I'm too old for this. It startled me, fam. All right, man. Shit. Let me know that's who's coming next. She's scary, man. It's like I saw a ghost of Stacey Dash. I didn't even know she was still with us. Did she bleach her skin? What is going on here, John? I don't know. All right, let's be nice, Tim. Be nice. Ladies and gentlemen, Stacey, Mrs. Dash.
What's wrong with you? I mean, what is wrong with you? That you can celebrate someone's death. Seriously. Because they don't agree with you? Because they talk about different things and you don't like what they're saying? You don't like hearing the truth? So you celebrate their death? What is going on? I'll tell you what. That is the state of our country and our world. The devil is dancing right now.
Stacey, we haven't heard from you for some time. And I didn't realize how lucky we were. I really haven't. You a crash test dummy. You crashed out years ago. I thought you were in a mental hospital. I didn't even know you were out. Who let you out? That's what I want to say. Who let you out? Who lets you get out amongst people and walk around and shit? What are you doing? Free. Aren't you hooked on something or doing blow off some jail sale bar? What are you doing out? Just smoking, drinking some hooch in some redneck fentanyl trap house in Alabama or in Kentucky? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm not even going to, you know what? This conversation, this ain't even for you, man. I'm not even going to rebut you. It's no reason to rebut you. No one cares. It'd be a race, it'd be a waste of butt. Doing the butt. Sexy. Rebutting you would be pointless. You be like, why'd you do the butt? Don't rebut her, no way. It's still flat, no butt. Don't rebut that fool. Yeah, let's go back. Let's get off to the next thing. I'm sorry, I meant to play. There's other people here on this clip. Here we go.
And you're celebrating.
Okay, there is an aspect of Charlie Kirk's death that I just haven't seen anyone talking about. And first, I want to say personally, I believe his death is very sad and tragic, and that political violence doesn't benefit anyone. I believe in the long run, it really hurts all of us. What I'm seeing is a night and day difference between the way my white Christian friends are responding to this and the way my black Christian friends are responding to his assassination. My white Christian friends are treating this like the death of a martyr or a saint. And my black Christian friends are pointing out that, hey, this is sad, but the man was an unapologetically racist and very dishonest individual who did a lot of damage in the political realm. And I've seen all the clips to back up their claims, and you should too if you haven't. They really are horrible. And I wonder if it's because the way the algorithm works that white people just didn't see this side of him, or if they saw it and ignored it. But we can't ignore it. We have to call it out for what it is and to denounce it in strongest terms, because to cover racism and Christian ideology like Charlie Kirk and Trump and so many others do, it is a sin as old as this nation, and it's literally what has kept us divided as Christians and otherwise for 400 years.
Maybe it's because I come from a place with consequences, but I ain't shocked by the Charlie Kirk shit at all. Where I'm from, right or wrong, if you do things that negatively impact other people's lives, there's a chance that that could cost you your life. Like, say you put hands on your old lady. She goes back to her parents' house, beaten and bloody, and then her little brother sees it, decides he's had enough. He goes over to that house and he puts 3 in your chest. Ultimately, he's dead because the little brother decided to pull the trigger, but we're going to act like the hillbilly didn't have no part to play in that? Or maybe it's because I'm on the side that has historically had all of the consequences heaped upon them. Like, we're the ones who always get assassinated. Harry T. Moore, Medgar Evers, Huey Long, Harvey Milk, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, the list goes on. None of them wanted to die. And to be sure, they died because someone came and pulled the trigger. They didn't make that decision. But we're going to act like that decision wasn't visited upon them because they decided to challenge the status quo, because they decided to negatively impact the ruling class? Now I've got a situation where I have an individual who has spent the last decade trying to strip the humanity away from everybody that he deemed lesser, out here impacting the lives of thousands, if not millions of people negatively, and I'm supposed to pretend like there are going to be no consequences again whenever you do the type of things that impact. You don't know how you're impacting people's lives. You have no idea what your words or how they will affect somebody. We recognize this as leftists. I understand there's going to be people who don't like the shit that I have to say. It's cops right now who would love to put me in a bag. I get that. I go do it anyway because I believe that what I'm talking is worth dying for. I hope that Charlie Kirk feels the same, because whenever you get out here and you do the type of things that impact people negatively, you need to expect that those people you negatively impact are going to come visit consequences upon you. For right or wrong, it doesn't matter. In my world, that's the reality, and you should expect that it's going to come whether it does or not.
And that's one of the points I've been trying to make to people is I do not believe that Charlie Kirk was ready for that life. That's not what he was doing. He was from that group of Republican light, alt-right light. He's alt-right light. He ain't expect these types of consequences. He wasn't ready for that. He ain't crash out. That's not what he was doing. So dude was playing with fire. That's what I think. That's what I believe. We'll get more into it. This guy's cooking. Let him cook.
I expect my retribution to come from the ruling class. Charlie Kirk is going to have to look out for it from every minority group that he's ever demonized. Moral of the story is, if you're going to be out here trying to impact people's lives negatively, you better believe in what the fuck it is you're fighting for. As always, bro, I appreciate y'all taking the time. Much love. Y'all have a good one.
Charlie Kirk's death really highlighted something for me, and it's that white individuals empathize heavily with the death of even horrible people just because they look like them, but are somehow able to ignore the constant reality that Black, Indigenous, and people of color are killed all the time. This was highlighted for me when I saw Dean Withers respond on a live by crying to the death of one of the worst people ever, but could somehow not even shed a tear for any Black or Indigenous people who are murdered constantly, and not even to mention the thousands of people in Gaza. Society grieves the loss of white individuals so loudly, but is somehow able to constantly ignore the suffering of Black, Indigenous, and marginalized people. And the reason why is because Charlie Kirk is white, because he's a part of the dominant group, and stuff like this doesn't happen to those people all the time. Which is why there was also so much attention when the CEO was shot or when the white woman was stabbed on a train. And it's because the violence that's constantly perpetuated towards marginalized people starts to feel real to them when it impacts people that look like them. And until your empathy expands past people that just look like you, your politics feel fake. And real change actually comes from centering the voices of those who carry the weight of injustice.
Yeah, those were good clips. Those are good reactions, and it's good to get some different reactions from different people. Just so you know, that shit does exist. Not everybody is Stacey Dash. Some people do kind of get it. Even an evangelical guy can get it. But here's the thing, man. Unfortunately, there are people that can't see past. They can't see past the color of their skin when it comes to shit like this. Tyree Nichols was beat to death by mostly all Black cops, and I want them all to be punished forthwith. I haven't even heard people talk about what kind of punishment this guy's going to get who shut down Charlie Kirk. No one's talking about it. I wasn't like when I saw Tyree Nichols was beat by Black cops, I was more upset, not less upset. I was like, oh no, it's not white guys. Hey, what was he doing? What's going on? No, but see, they start making excuses when it's white on white. I don't make excuses when it's Black on Black. Either way is bad for us. And some of us, not all of us, but the people that I respect in this business that do what I do, we call it out regardless of who it is that's inflicting pain on Black America. In fact, when I'm calling out the Democratic Party, I'm mostly calling out Black Americans who are rolling with the Democratic Party, doing us no good for the Black community. That's what I'm calling out, because they negatively impact Black Americans. And when it's time for us to break free, try to help us break free of the Democratic stronghold, I got to deal with those people that are closest to Black Americans. It's not because I'm trying to do that for massa. I'm not trying to do that for white folks in the Republican Party to help them. I'm doing it to help us. And sometimes that's how shit overlaps. And I think some people have misinterpreted my goals. My goals are help Black people stop giving their vote away for free. We got to demand something for our vote. That's what everybody should do in this country. When you got a group of people that have been stuck to the bottom like we've been stuck to the bottom, well, I'm going to be selfish about demanding ours. I'm going to fight for ours, and I'm exclusively going in that way because someone's got to devote time on that. People got to be serious. And you can't, I'm sorry, in America, you cannot be serious about helping Black people if you got any type of distractions with other groups, because it's too easily turning against you. They have you champion for everybody else except us. And then they open up doors to slide you money if you keep it that way. And that's the slippery slope that you go down. So in order to truly advocate for Black America, you got to be $100 in a one-track mind. $100 in a one-track mind all day. You got to be focused on getting your little $100 and have a one-track mind. Because what you're doing it for is not money. What you're doing it for is the goal of helping your people. And you got to be serious about it. You got to be able to have tunnel vision, baby. So that's all I got to say about that. But I'm glad we got those clips. Those clips mean a lot. Some people need to see it. Not everybody's the same. And I'm not saying they are the same. Some people see through the nonsense. Some don't. Hit the like button if that makes sense. Don't forget to join us at jointimblack.com. Type in jointimblack.com. Become a member starting only $5 a month. Ain't no tricks to this. This is what we do. Put something else in your consciousness besides corporate media dog shit. All right. Yeah. Let's go to D.L. Hughley. And look, and if my moderator's got to leave on to saying I have a late start tonight, but I got to get through these clips because I got to get this information uploaded. So I gotta do the full show. But I understand if Buck or Black Mamba or Ebony have to roll out, I get it. But I got to do these. Here goes Don Lemon and D.L. Hughley.
I'm going to bring in D.L. Hughley right now. And I want D.L., you have been, I think, the clearest voice. Thank you, sir, for joining us. I think you've been the clearest voice on this because you're speaking truth to power.
I don't think he's heard my content on this. I think I've been top 5. I won't say the clearest, but I think I've been top 5. And I think I've definitely had a more decisive or a more insightful, that's it, a more insightful, surgical perspective on what's happening with Charlie Kirk than D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley, I'm not going to say he's always wrong. He's just wrong a whole lot. And he starts, we'll see. Let's see what he's doing, fam.
Without, condoning violence, you're speaking to the hypocrisy that's happening on the right now.
Mm-hmm. That always is a strange euphemism to me, condoning. The act already happened. America has, by definition, decided that it would condone. But even Charlie Kirk, by his own words, said that a certain amount of deaths were acceptable. So the word is kind of weird and a misnomer to ask someone after the fact whether they condone what already happened. This is America's choice. They have decided that these deaths, whether they be children, whether they be people shot at synagogues or at grocery stores or at malls. We even have different classifications of the way we're shot. Thousands, tens of thousands, more Americans have died at the hands of Americans than have died in every single war we've ever fucking been. So
does D.L. Hughley own a gun? Can we cut the shit, fam? Hey, look, man. Hey, look, I'm not saying Charlie Kirk. I've already criticized Charlie Kirk. I've been doing it. I'm going to keep doing it, okay? And I've been pointing out these issues with his rhetoric and the differences, and I'm about to get into some more of that tonight. We're going to do some more of that, okay? But come on, can we cut the shit here for a second? Hey, DL, do you own a gun, dude? Now, we all know your girlfriend, Kamala Harris, owns a gun. She bragged about it on the campaign trail. You can't say, oh, Charlie's crazy for saying we should have guns. If your ass got a gun, and if the person you was campaigning for had a gun in her house. She was running on that shit. When things got tight, looks like, oh shit, you mean Beyonce's not gonna be enough to get him to vote for me? Rihanna, I brought her out. I brought Megan Thee Stallion out. I brought the rapper Plies out and they still aren't voting for me. Uncle Luke was championing for me and that still didn't do it. Well, shit, tell him I own a gun. And I go to the range, pow, 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 pow. Remember that? She pulled a Hillary. Same shit Hillary pulled. And now you're going to start him off. And Don's going to introduce this guy. It's been the clarion voice of reason when it comes to Charlie Kirk and Republicans on these issues. And what's he do? Contradict himself right out the gate. He ran out the yard and stepped on his own feet and fell in a ditch. He fell directly into the deadfall on the entrance. The Bama looked like MC Light running out on stage, falling on her face. He did an MC Light. And I like MC Light, but she had that one coming though, didn't she? Oh, Joe Biden didn't mean nothing when he called that grown-ass man boy. Anyway, light us up, Rock. Light us up. Stop, man. She wasn't light as a rock when she hit the floor, though. That was... She did one. I'm about to cut all this out. Mr. Black said, Tim, you be having too much fun. They want you mad, Tim. Be upset. Now, be serious. Be serious. Be serious. Let's go back to D.L. Hughley. D.L. is supposed to be the greatest voice when it comes to talking about Charlie Kirk. That's what Don Lemon says. Let's see what happens.
So ISIS ain't got a damn thing on US's. So, but to say to anybody whether they condone what already happened is a bit of a misnomer when America, by definition, has already done the same thing.
So when I say that they're trying to make him into the second coming, or
Sure.
Somehow saying that he's a deity, or I get that he's a martyr now, but I want you to listen. This is Glenn Beck. Now we all know what Charlie Kirk has said,
right?
And this it's actually less about.
I think a lot of people pretend like they don't know. That's the thing.
Okay.
A lot of people pretend like they don't.
No, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know shit about Charlie Kirk, man. This guy was propped up by the establishment Republicans. A lot of people don't know who he is. It's not like he had a show on MSNBC. A lot of these people don't watch this shit. How many people are going to Turning Point USA? He's a Republican, first of all. The majority of Black America don't got anything to do with Republicans. Not for the large part. I mean, Trump has kind of opened the door for some people to pay a little bit more attention, but not establishment Republicans. And this guy was like friends with Hegseth, Cash Patel. These are not names to ring out in the hood. I bet you if I went down right now to Benning Road, Washington, D.C., and asked 20 people, who the hell is Hegseth, they'd be like, excuse me? Nah, man, she sell weed around the corner. They got the good shit around the corner. You know, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I thought you said headset. Who got a headset? What headset? You mean the Beats, the new Beats headphones? What headset, mofo? Because people don't know these things about Charlie Kirk. People are finding out now. Some people didn't know who he was till he was gone. So DL he live in a bubble. DL's in a bubble. Don Lemon's in a bubble. Don, you get out of your bubble and you go on the street and talk to people. DL don't do that. DL know a bunch of Hollywood mofos. What does he do? If he ain't touring, he don't know nobody. And he's paid not to know nobody, pretend. He come up here and pretend like he got this finger on. Just because he's black, don't mean he got his hand on the pulse of a black America. This guy it's got his finger on a bank account. It's a bank account. When he writing his Obama memoirs. Come on, man. How you gonna say a guy who wrote a memoir for Barack Obama is in any way a voice of anything for black? I mean, that's the guy with a certain type of accent. The thing was all up Kamala's butt. Come on, man. This is not, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, guys, I don't want to be all night, but I gotta say, D.L. Hughley is not the voice of in Lemon Live.
No. My manager, who's I've been my manager 30 years, he wasn't aware of all the things he said. And I think there are a lot of people who just kind of are tuned into a certain frequency and can, they get to cherry pick things. But if you're one of those groups that have been marginalized, one of those groups that he's spoken out against.
Dude just contradicted himself 3 times, man. I'm sorry, fam. What the hell did he say? I'm going on this long ass rant because he said one thing and then he does about face immediately.
I get that he's a martyr now. But I want you to listen. This is Glenn Beck. Now, we all know what Charlie Kirk has said.
Right.
And it's actually less about.
I think a lot of people pretend like they don't know. That's the thing. Okay. A lot of people pretend like they don't know. My manager, who's I've been my manager 30 years, he wasn't aware of all the things he said. And I think there are a lot of people who just kind of are tuned into a certain frequency and can, they get to cherry pick things. But if you're one of those groups that have been marginalized, one of those groups that he's spoken out against, I think you're keenly aware of what he said. But I think that there's some people who get to not know.
So what my point is that if this has happened to Charlie Kirk, and as Democrats have been saying, and most people, this is awful. No one should be, a victim of political violence. It's not acceptable. Democrats are saying that. Republicans are saying that. But if they weren't trying to rewrite history, the history of Charlie Kirk in this moment, the president ordering flags to be flown at half-staff, the members of Congress petitioning for Charlie Kirk to have a state-like funeral. Now, I can't think of the Charlie Kirk, if there even is one on the left, what they would be saying if someone that they deemed, even if it was true or not, to be a racist or a bigot or didn't like Republicans or anti-right wing. I wonder what outrage and the level, the volume of the outrage would be on the right. Let me play this from Glenn Beck, and I want you to respond to it, DL. Here's Glenn Beck. He's a civil rights leader, he's saying.
We must stop calling Charlie anything other than a civil rights leader. We need to plant that stake deep. It is time that we point out that what he was doing was not politics. What he was doing was trying to stand up for people's civil rights, to show people how a civilization is not a civilization unless you can have a dialogue with people who are diametrically opposed to you, that don't believe anything that you believe in. And yet you can have a civil dialogue, and how important that is. That's our civil right, our right to free speech. And that gunman was trying to take that right away from him and from you and everyone else. Shut up. You will be silenced. You will not say those things. And there has been a force in this country to try to convince people that you don't have a right, that you have a responsibility to silence others. You don't. In this country, one of our main civil rights is we can express ourselves the way we feel we need to express ourselves. And I'm sorry, if you don't like it, you have to just take it and then say, I'd like to have a discussion with you on that. I'd like to know how you got there. I'd like to have the opportunity to argue against that. And you have that right to argue against it.
Okay. Listen, enough of Glenn Beck. He's not even he's missing the point here. Because people, folks are saying you can say whatever you want, but go on.
It's deliberate. That's ironic and very rich right now. People are being fired from their jobs because they're saying what Charlie Kirk actually said. People right now are...
No. Hey, look, man, I can't. Look, I'm trying, fam. Jesus Christ, Charlie Kirk, a civil rights leader? Well, shit, if that's the case, I could name about 20 civil rights leaders. If podcasters get to be civil rights leaders without actually leading any type of civil rights. I mean, okay, so me, Afro Lead, I don't know, Dr. Phil Scott, Torrin, I don't know. I can name a lot of people. I can name a lot of people with podcasts. Dr. Musa Abdullah. I don't know. It's a lot of people with podcasts. That's not a criteria, man. This is laughable. But you know what? It probably will happen because he's a white guy. He's a white guy. He was a podcaster who had a budget of $90 million given to him every year by Republicans to go out and recruit and build up a Republican base with young people. He was given money. He was funded. Folks, he was funded. I looked this up. I wanted to provide actual information, not just my opinion on this. Turning Point USA started getting big money from the Koch brothers and other conservative donors right around its launch in 2012. Charlie Kirk met Foster Friess, a major Republican donor at that year's GOP convention, who kickstarted the funding. The Koch Network. Through groups like Americans for Prosperity, they funnel cash in, later with records showing over $165 million to similar causes by 2018, including Turning Point USA's affiliates. Exact dates are fuzzy since they're not big on transparency, but posts on X and web reports point to heavy backing within a couple years of starting, scaling up fast by 2016, with millions pouring in from Coke or Coke, whatever. Them old white dudes. Their foundations and others, like the Bradley Foundation. So Charlie Kirk, his organizations were not grassroots funded. They were funded by rich donors of the conservative nature. So that's not civil rights. Civil rights, that's not what it was. Civil rights was actually grassroots. What the Panthers did was grassroots. What Fred Hampton did was grassroots. Okay? What Snick did, grassroots. What Charlie Kirk did, Koch brothers, Bradley Foundation. All right, totally different entities. Okay, so let's get that right. DL said some things I can't. I don't know. I guess we'll go back to that. I think that's a good enough point for that. Let's go back and see what else they have to say. I'm sure they'll say something else disagreeable.
Threatened to be pulled off planes because they've said something about the FBI director.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what it was. Fam, people are not losing their jobs. They're not losing. People are losing their jobs because they're saying shit like, I'm glad he got killed. I'm glad, you know, that's different. You work for the public. You work for a public corporation. You don't work for yourself. And you're saying that the person, you're glad they got killed. There are people complaining to your company and outing you as a person on social media, cheering for someone's death. It's not just people that disagree, it's people who made those exact type of statements. That's my understanding. Now, if I'm wrong, now let me know. But I haven't seen a single person who lost their job just because they posted a clip of what Charlie said. There's been thousands of people, if not millions of people, have reposted clips. It's the people that are saying, hey, he's dead. I'm glad he's dead. I hope he rots in hell. They're the ones doing it, doing that part. I haven't even done that, and I got a podcast, and I can't be fired. I work for myself. So I haven't even done that because it's unnecessary. And why are y'all doing that anyway? The guy's gone. Nobody was really... Anyway, that's it. Let's go back. Let's see. I don't get it. These people are just crashing out and just, dancing on the grave. The guy's gone. Why risk your job to make that statement? And make that statement, make it in person. If you want to say something, say it over a beer with your friends. Don't put it on social. It's like posting new pictures of yourself. No. Stealing something out of the break room. No, don't post that. All right.
People are being kicked out of the country because they said something about Trump. So let's stop with the whole free. There's a difference between free speech and hate speech. There's a difference between free speech and yelling fire in a crowded room. And they think that all of that is the same. I don't care about his ideological views. I care that his ideological views, that he deliberately said that there are a certain amount of things that should happen that are bad. When your conversations stop with my humanity, then it's not a...
D.L. Hughley is one of the hardest people to track, man. And I know some of us, we think pretty fast. We think faster than our tongues will move. But damn it, it's like D.L. always is just, he has a bunch of talking points. It's like he says them in every interview. He throws the same talking points. He's got one-liners he's used in comedy routines. He just throws that shit together in interviews. I don't know why Don Lemon and other people act like D.L. is so articulate. He say the same shit all the time. He just grabs a one-liner, sometimes he steals a one-liner, and throws it in and just says it where it don't even make sense. I don't get the point. I don't know why people love it. The guy's not good on his feet. He can't come up with shit on his feet. I have yet to hear him be original and in the moment and then say clever shit. Say something clever. We say clever shit on this show all the time. And I know I'm biased, but I'm right. Let's see what he says. Let's see. This whole spiel don't make sense.
Because they're saying what Charlie Kirk actually said. People right now are threatened to be pulled off planes because they've said something about the FBI director. People are being kicked out of the country because they said something about Trump. So let's stop with the whole free. There's a difference between free speech and hate speech. There's a difference between free speech and yelling fire in a crowded room. And they think that all of that is the same. I don't care about his ideological views. I care that his ideological views led to, he deliberately said that there are a certain amount of things that should happen that are bad. When your conversations stop with my humanity, then it's not a conversation at all. But I find it interesting that one of the ways to get deified on the right is to do horrible things to black people, like Confederate generals. They're getting statues. Glenn Beck got an award. They're talking about Charlie Kirk lying in state, and he should lie in state because he lied in a bunch of states. Every time you see generally, what is the allure with the people who have said the most racist, incendiary things on the right that they got to be deified? What's the purpose of deifying Confederate generals? Like, whenever I see a white guy encased in bronze on a statue, whenever I see a white dude on a horse in the middle of a park in bronze, I know he hated black people.
Perfect. You said the same thing 5 times in a row. Same exact thing. Said it all slightly different ways. It's the same shit. I don't know, man. Look. Damn it, look. Just cause I'm telling the truth as best I know it about Charlie Kirk, don't group me with D.L. Hughley. Just don't do it, y'all. I see some of y'all now, you get mad. People write me letters. Tim, you're on the wrong side. And on the wrong side. Charlie Kirk was on the wrong side. If he wasn't really racist, he shouldn't have said really racist shit. That's how I feel it. Y'all mistake me fighting for black people is me fighting for Republicans. That's where you got me messed up. Nah. It's just that the Democrats look like the enemy so much that you think my enemy is the Democrats, or that I'm fighting against Democrats. I am, but I'm fighting for black Americans. So wherever black people are, I'm gonna be there. Wherever the issue is, when it's black related, I'm gonna be there. If you come for working class people in general, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be listening, because those are my people, working class people. Not black elites, not elites, working class people. If you don't have a trust fund, check me out. If you're a black American who doesn't have a trust fund, check me out. I'm open in that way. But this right here, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, man. D.L. Hughley and Don Lemon, I didn't get anything out of their broadcast at all. Except I like the part you told me about Beck wanted to make this guy a civil rights leader, make Kirk a civil rights leader. That's a bunch of horse shit. But I don't know, Trump might have to do something. Because based on everything I'm looking at, it looks like it only happened because of Trump. What happened to Charlie happened because of Trump. It did not happen for any other reason, in my opinion. And that's based on the research that I've done, what I've conducted. If it looks like his proximity to Trump, he'll want to say in the good graces with Donald Trump ultimately led to the problems that he had. That's what I think. But let's keep it moving, fam. Hit the like button if this makes any sense. Jesus Christ, man, stop it. Just stop it. The Confederate flag, Confederate motto. What are we talking about? They want to give Charlie Kirk a monument there. I don't know. I don't even know why that was part of the conversation. Then we talking about Charlie Kirk. You start talking about Confederates and deities. All right. Next. Now would be a good time to hit the like button. I know it's late in the morning. Early in the morning. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I got a couple more stories to get through. Let's go to Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes. Yeah, baby. Big Air.
If there's a shooting at a synagogue, it is very likely to be either a white supremacist. If there's a shooting at a synagogue, it is very likely to be either a white supremacist or a radical Muslim. If it is a shooting of a Republican politician, it is very likely to be a trans Antifa Marxist shooter.
That is just not true.
We don't
know what this kid is.
We do know this kid was of the left. We do know that.
We do know what?
That this kid was of the political left. That is according to contemporaneous reporting from The Guardian as well as Tablet Magazine today.
It's 2 days out. We don't know shit, Ben.
But here's...
We don't know shit. They never do. The internet is undefeated in getting it wrong to begin with.
It's not about the internet. That's about the actual reporting by mainstream accepted. The Guardian is not...
The Guardian walked back their earlier article. They found out, they determined that the shooter's family is Republican, and so he was not a registered Republican, but the whole household was Republican. They're MAGA, in fact. In fact, the family said they not only are not Democrats, they don't even know any Democrats. So that's all out the window, which kind of defeats the talking point that Ben Shapiro has. Also, I guess we could also point out that of the shootings, of the political shootings that have happened in this country, 73% of them have been the right wing or white nationalists or right wing. Okay, so it's not really a lefty thing there. I know they're going to say that in the trans thing, man. Come on, fam. Like, yeah, I'm not for trans women playing ball with women and sports and wrestling and track. I'm not for that. But the shooter thing, come on, this is lame. And this is where you find out what people are really about. Like Ben Shapiro is trying to stay in a certain camp, so it's got to have a certain type of politics. It's so obvious. No matter how much money you got, you still got to adhere to certain things, or accidents may happen. Let's listen to the rest of this. Bill Maher is going to take Benny. He's going to take Ben to school. It's going to be some white on white crime, fam.
You know what this kid is?
We do know this kid was of the left. We do know that.
We do know what?
That this kid was of the political left. That is according to contemporaneous reporting from The Guardian as well as Tablet Magazine today.
It's 2 days out. We don't know shit, Ben.
But
we don't know shit. They never do. The internet is undefeated in getting it wrong to begin with.
It's not about the internet. That's about the actual reporting by mainstream accepted. The Guardian is not a right-wing.
Here's what we heard. Here's what I was told so far, and I'll tell you what was wrong. First, I heard he's a registered Republican. Not true. Okay. Then he was a donor to Trump. Not true. His father works in the sheriff's office. Not true. There was a picture of him wearing a pro-Trump shirt. Not true. Member of the Democratic Socialists of America. Not true. We don't know what he is.
Well,
how are you so sure he's of the left? Now, I agree when you write on a bullet, what did he write on the bullet? Catch
this fascist, which is also a gamer thing.
Okay, but now I'm hearing he may have been part of that group for whom Charlie Kirk was not right-wing enough.
You mean the Groypers, yes. I mean, so that would...
You're sure he's not that?
I'm not sure that he's not that.
A minute ago you were sure what he was.
Hold on, Bill. Hold on. Okay, because I've been...
You were.
Hold on a second. That was... Damn. All right, hold tight, real quick. I just got to say, I don't usually get to say this. I can't remember the last time I said it, so I'm going to say it now because I might not get a chance to say it again. Good one, Bill. Good one. All right, back to this shit. Let's go.
I'll do my best because, first of all, I was never anywhere near as far right as the people I'm about to talk about. Like, not even close. I was actually apolitical, and a lot of the content that I was taking in was right-wing, and I didn't even realize it. And it inadvertently made me right-leaning when I considered myself to be apolitical. Also, this all happened years after I was already out of conspiracy theory land. I just immediately recognized the style and usage of memes when I heard about those bullet casings, but I didn't want to say anything right away until more information came out, and then it did. They're Groypers. He was a Groyper. They're essentially, I'm going to keep this as simple as humanly possible, they're basically a cult around Nick Fuentes, who made Charlie Kirk look like a liberal. It's deeply ingrained in like video game and meme culture, hence the stuff that was written on the bullet casings. And Nick Fuentes, the cult leader, so to speak, his direct competition was Charlie Kirk. There were literally Groyper wars between Charlie Kirk's followers and this Groyper cult. So in the absolute simplest terms possible, Charlie Kirk was killed by a member of a cult that was further right than Kirk. The call absolutely came from inside the house. And to try to categorize a Groyper as being left-leaning is objectively insane. It's just completely insane.
There it is, guys. And that's what I've been discovering going down a rabbit hole. After the shows, after I finish editing, before I go to bed, I'm listening and checking out mountains of content in order to try to find other stuff, trying to figure out what's happening, trying to trace things down. And what I found out is that the Groypers exist. And I have actually had a little bit of entrance, a little bit of time I spent when I did a video on Nick Fuentes. I was noticing this herd of people coming over the hill. I was like, but Jesus, it's a lot of people. Are they waving sticks with nails in them, or are they just happy to see me? And there was thousands of these people coming over into my comment section. And I hadn't seen this since when I went after Andrew Yang for the bullshit he was on. But yeah, it was a lot of people coming at me. And turns out the Groypers are a online thing. And it looks like, now this is what people are saying, this is what we're alleging. It's possible the Groypers went offline and they took it into the real world. And that's who this Tyler guy is. He's a part of these guys. And I see pictures and links, and I saw a post in 4chan. There are screenshots, and it looks like that's possibly what this is. So let me just put it to you this way. Nick Fuentes, I'm not going to accuse him of anything, but I'm going to say he's more to the right than Charlie Kirk was, and maybe he felt that Charlie Kirk was soft. He felt like Charlie Kirk was selling out the true mission that him and his people are supposed to be on. And I've heard Nick Fuentes himself say, hey, I'm the one that had to go away for years. He got banned off all the platforms. He was kicked out. He couldn't even do PayPal. He had no way to make a living as a human being because of the strong stances that he took. Meanwhile, it sees Charlie Kirk ascending up, getting money from right-wing organizations, millions of dollars. And basically, he's doing what politicians do. He's selling out. He's taking money. He's not really standing on principle. And people had a problem with it. I'm not saying that Nick Fuentes ordered anything. But I'm saying the sentiment was Charlie Kirk was in the way. That Charlie Kirk, him and his organization were in the way, and this is an opportunity with Trump in office for some radical things to happen that they might have had the opportunity to make happen again. And we got this guy, Charlie Kirk, with all the leverage in the world, still cozying up, flip-flopping, and now he's cozying back up with certain entities. And this looks like we need him to step aside. I saw point blank Nick Fuentes say, Charlie needs to step aside. Let a player play. That's what he said. Now, all that being said, it leads me back to my central point. This is a point I think we all need to understand and get, and hope to God that everybody listening understands this. This has nothing to do with us. This has nothing to do with Black Americans. This is not our fight. This is not our issue. And damn those people trying to make us be empathetic about it, be worried about it, be sympathetic about it. They're not sympathetic about our problems. When we talk about our problems, they say we're being victims. Megyn Kelly, the witch, she loves to say that Black people play victim. Then what does her and Stephen Crowder do? Play victim on a video complaining about what happened to Charlie Kirk. Now they're the victims. Of what? They're the victims of something that's truly right-wing. Truly to the right. That are neo-Nazi-ish. If they ain't neo-Nazi, they're very much adjacent. They own that shit for real. But this has nothing to do with Black America. So after finding all of this out, for all the MAGAs, all the MAGA supporters, the ones that were sensible that just wanted Trump in, look at your people, man. Look at your people. They're making death threats to Black universities over a guy who was not killed by a Black person. He wasn't shot at a black school at a black event. Nothing to do with us at all. Whatever we feel about those clips we saw him say, we didn't hurt him. But we get to be the butt of it. We got to somehow be dragged into it. For some reason, everything in America has to center around black people. For some reason, we are still the fall guy for shit we ain't got nothing to do. We're not even there when it happened. My three-year-old daughter, I don't care what it is. Anything that she does, she blames it on the 6-year-old. I swear, we got her training in her potty, right? She's training in her the pull-ups. Oh, you went poo-poo in that. She didn't put the pull-up in the trash. I swear, I shit you not. I said, Nadia, you put this pull-up over here in this corner. She said, Lala did it. Lala's 6. She been wearing real underwear since she was 3.5, 4 years old. That's what all you maggots sound like to me. You know you did it. Your people did it. People adjacent to you did this, and you still find a way to blame the people that aren't even in the room, the people that weren't even there, the people that got nothing to do with it. We over here trying to figure out how much money Tyler Perry gonna have to pay out. We're over here trying to figure out what type of shit is Westmore. Why are people trying to anoint this guy? What can we do to stop the rise of Obama 2.0? Sorry. We ain't over here thinking about Charlie Kirk. We got our own problems. We're over here looking at Gavin Newsom and wonder what are people thinking. We got real problems. We ain't worried about Charlie Kirk. We're sitting over here looking at D.C. We're looking at the D.C. Mayor Bowser. We're looking at Brandon. I was over here covering Brandon Johnson's goofy ass, wondering when did Chipmunks get in office and what are we doing with 150 police officers guarding this mofo, this punk mofo who crashed the budget in Chicago. And you interrupt us from doing what we doing to come over here and deal with you and Kirk. Most black people think we talking about Captain Kirk. They are more interested in what Captain Kirk doing. What a new Star Trek coming out. We ain't even concerned about no damn Charlie Kirk. Charlie Brown, Thanksgiving only, please. We'll run that and let the kids watch that while we have a drink in the kitchen. But we ain't thinking about no Charlie Kirks, and we don't even know who the Nick Fuentes is, even if some people seem to be fixated on him for some reason. Yeah, some of you are glorifying Nick Fuentes. He hates you, okay? Anyway, that's it. I'm off. I'm done. Nick Fuentes, if you want a suspect, go look in that direction. I don't know if he did it or not, but it's damn sure a lot more interesting than going after black people when you know we weren't even available. We got an alibi. We were too busy complaining about highest to lowest with Spike Lee, Denzel Washington, and we were busy. All right, next. Jesus, man. One more, guys. If you like that content, let me know, man. If that content makes sense to you, go ahead and hit us up. Hit the like button for this. Let the algorithm know this late hour. Remember, some people are still on the West Coast. Not that late there. They're still up. Last video of the night. Last clip of the evening. Officer Tatum. Let's do it, fam. Yeah, fam. Yeah.
I bet you his dad was a Trump supporting conservative. And I bet you he raised a good kid. And that kid used to go shooting with him, hunting with him. That kid was getting straight A's in school, well-mannered, and probably why he got a scholarship, and then went to school and got indoctrinated.
Yeah, see, he goes off into Tatum. He's talking about Tyler, the one who was allegedly, who's been a suspect for the shooting of Charlie Kirk. And he's saying these things. This is what he knows. He knows this to be true. And he's almost correct. He's almost correct. But it appears he's wrong about a major part of this. And that is his family's right wing. You're right. But he didn't move to the left. He moved to the right. Yeah, the white moved to the right. And someone say the true right. Because for real, guys, Officer Tatum and Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens and all these people, they're just phonies. Yeah, they're phonies. They're phonies. These guys are phonies. They use anti-blackness in order to develop a following, and so that they can move to the center. And for some people, it just ain't working. That's it. This is not working for them. They use anti-blackness to build a following with bigots, to build up their numbers so the numbers are compressive, so they can move to the center and rock with the Republicans. Officer Tatum is trying to do that right now as they try to consolidate power, try to fill the shoes of Charlie Kirk. He will not be successful, no matter how much he blubbers and complains and threatens to beat up people who talk bad about Charlie. It will not work. You still black, Tatum. Listen when I tell you. I'm telling you some good shit, Tatum. You are black, sir. You ain't going to succeed Charlie. His wife ain't going to put you in a hit or nothing. You can work security. You can play the drums. But let's keep going because Tatum says he knows stuff.
I'm not saying that that's true, but there's a huge sentiment in my mind that that's what happens. These people at these universities, there needs to be consequences for indoctrination, not education, but indoctrination. That means that when you're in the classroom and you're supposed to be talking about math, you should be talking about math. Math teachers shouldn't be talking about politics. You at school to teach. I went to my son's school in Washington State. Thank God he don't live there no more. Washington State, go in the classroom, math teacher got...
And see, this is what I'm telling you, folks. As you listen to him talk, other than trying to be abrasive, other than being abrasive, other than being loud, and look, I'm not somebody that's going to complain about you being loud. Look, that would be hypocritical as hell. But what I'm saying is, what he's saying is really not crazy. What he's saying is not racist or not whatever, because he's already said those parts. When he starts talking about other stuff, he just sounds like a Republican. That's because he is. He is. And when he cools out after dumping on black people to get approval, he starts sounding like any old Republican that you'll hear from. Of course, he's going to be a little bit more brash because he tries to be the black one that's more threatening, more blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to do that amongst a bunch of white people. So they can say, you the man, Tatum. You the man. It's funny. We got a cop threatening to beat people up if they talk bad about Charlie. That's perfect. That's perfect. And nothing better. That's a perfect example to demonstrate what I'm talking about when I criticize cops. He's the only cop I know who's threatening to actually put violence upon people for words. Then he's complaining about what happened to Charlie. Oh, guys, it's you can't make this shit up, fam. He said Charlie got off because of words, and then he says he gonna punch somebody, hurt somebody if they use words to describe Charlie that he don't agree with. Tatum, if you put your hands on me, I ain't gonna be the last person getting hands put on him, and I'm gonna let you know, brother. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna own everything. It's your name on it. Everything. I'm gonna sue you for everything you have, sir. You'll be working for me until you're 60. Or later. So if you decide you want to get froggy this way, I got lawyers on deck for shit like that. Just know that. I will actually welcome you to. Because I'll respond and sue you. But back to what I'm saying, fam. Listen to this. This is the point. This is the whole thing, man. This is the whole thing about Tatum and all these guys. These people were just they were using our blackness, using the blackness of the black community, using the negative stereotypes about black people to ingratiate themselves to people so that they can further their organization, so they can pad their pockets. Then they can act normal. Look at Candace. She's doing it right now. Get some money in her pocket. She did all she needed to do. Last time Candace talked about black people. She moved beyond it. Now she's trying to be a regular person. But I got caught out there talking about another group of people. And now she may be through. But let's let Tatum go a little bit further because he's talking about trans and schools. And let's see if we can jump forward a little bit.
I'm not bashing the Democrats if I'm not talking about Democrat stuff. These people are evil. They're evil. There's no other way to say it. They're evil. They're evil devils. And the devil projects on the good people. Good people like Charlie are doing right. You don't have to talk to him. If you mofos don't think they can spread hate, let him come on campus and talk to himself. Y'all don't have to talk to him. Charlie can't debate himself. You are participating voluntarily in a debate against Charlie. You just can't win because y'all stupid. Like, let's stop playing. Let's stop being smart. These people are stupid and they're evil. That's what it is. They're stupid and evil. It's two genders. If you don't know that, you're stupid and evil. Marriage between a man and a woman, you're stupid and evil if you don't understand that. It's not up for discussion. It's not a controversy.
This guy was a cop. That was the cop. And this the guy's a Christian who he says gets money to speak in front of Christians. Yeah, I've been working on my vocabulary. Because I think it's important to broaden one's vocabulary and learn these things. Here goes the word for the day. Christo-fascist ethno-state. Now, Christo-fascist is sort of like him, this guy, always with the God and the Lord stuff. Fascist is the type of government they want. The ethno-state is the hard part I don't understand for somebody like Tatum or Fuentes. Because the ethno, they don't apply because they're not white. It's not going to work for them. White supremacist state. You know, like basically anything that's not white doesn't work. So I'm kind of wondering how this is seen as a valuable or, a correct method to go. Like, why would you adopt this type of stance and be who you are? Like, we see you, Tatum. I don't know what these black conservatives like this thing. Now, no, not everybody's this way. There are people that got this shit together. Like, I like Anthony Brian Logan, in comparison, right? And there's probably many others. So Michael Singleton, he don't talk like this. He may believe like this to a certain degree, but he don't talk like this. This guy's just knucklehead. And if they did believe this way, they wouldn't televise it. This guy's crashing and burning in front of everybody. I don't know if he just made this tape or is somebody just hooked this up and just put it together. You know what I'm saying? Feel what I'm saying?
There's not a bunch of genders. You're evil and stupid. It's that simple. Christianity is the reason for our success. You're evil and stupid. It's that simple. I don't want to hear nothing about Islam or none of these other religions. You can come over here and practice your stuff, but if you think that's the way, you're stupid.
Someone calling other people stupid for believing in religion. Their religion goes back a lot further than Christianity. There's a lot of religions that, I don't know, man. That's why I don't get into the religious conversation with people. People believe what they want to believe. It is what it is. Officer Tatum he's noticeably ignorant on so many things, and he conducts himself as somebody who don't know shit. And for him to be yelling at the top of his lungs that other people are stupid. Now, I'm saying, I don't know, man. I thought I was going to be the one yelling tonight. I didn't know I was going to get competition with this guy. Where's the video of him cursing out everybody about Charlie? It's here somewhere. I think I got it. I don't know. Bear with me, guys. We'll play it. We'll make this be the last clip. I think Tatum is just crashing out. I think Charlie was a good friend of his. You know what? I'm going to give him that. I'm going to say, Officer Tatum, He's looked genuine. He looked genuinely unraveling. You know what I'm saying? It looks like he's genuinely unraveling. And I get that, okay? That part I get. I'm not even going to knock that part, okay? But I don't know if it's genuine. I think it's genuinely unraveling, but I'm not going to say that I feel that he's dumb enough to truly mean these things he's saying, because, like, crashing out won't bring Charlie back. You know? And he a grown man with kids and shit, a family and kids. And crashing out for a guy over this, they got the guy. It's like they caught the guy that did it. I guess that's part of what I just don't understand with this. You know, Black America, you know what I'm saying. Like, we get upset because we got cops that kill Black people and they don't even get arrested. We have to do shit to make them even indict them. If we don't make that's what I think a lot of people, I don't know if they understand or not. The officer that shot the Black man in the back several times, then planted drugs on him. They weren't even going to indict that guy. If it wasn't for a bystander with film, who at great risk put that film out, we never would have known about it. They just made up something. He shot himself in the back 5 times. George Floyd, they didn't even classify that as any type of interaction with cops. They never listed any of that in the actual report. There was nothing in that report for George Floyd of what took place that day until the video went viral. The video going viral is what made them go back and start modifying reports. Same thing with Laquan McDonald in Chicago. So Black Americans had to act up. We've had to protest. Nobody wants to protest, Goofy. And I'm not talking about the people that look at a protest as an opportunity to come up on a fresh pair of sneakers. I'm not talking about those people. Anytime there's a blackout, people break into shit. It could be anything. A strong enough rain to come through. People want to try to come up on some shit because shoes are nice and they can't afford them. But when it comes to justice, when it comes to issues, when we got to make noise, we make noise because if we don't make noise, they ignore our shit. They ignore what happens to us. But that's what happened with Charlie Kirk. You got the president of the United States tweeting about it. He did a 4-minute video about it. The flag was at half-mast before this guy. He's getting a congressman's, he got the Medal of Honor. He got the vice president with the casket. They're talking about laying him in state. I mean, come on. And you still not happy. They're doing everything they can do for Charlie except bring him back to life. And none of you are happy. None of you are happy. Instead, what I got Tatum talking about hurting people who say things about him that they believe are true based on shit he said in clips. And if Officer Tatum and the Hodge twins and all the rest of you, and Candace Owens too, if you ever showed a Black American a 10th of the respect, a 10th of the admiration that wasn't Thomas Sowell, maybe we wouldn't feel the way we feel about you. You know? Maybe if you showed a iota of respect and love, enduring, or sympathy, or empathy, appreciation, acknowledgement for a Black American like you do Charlie Kirk, maybe we wouldn't think that you were such a piece of garbage. Maybe we'd stop calling you coons and sellouts. Maybe we would be people we just have a difference of opinion with. But you don't. Charlie Kirk, he was victimed, he was shot, but he was no victim. He's a victim of that shooter, but he's no victim of our society. He's no victim of us, of our financially, emotionally, socially, resource network, nothing. He was not a victim. He was a powerful man shot by one white dude in Utah with an axe to grind. That's it. His life was amazing. You can live many times over and not live a charmed life like Charlie Kirk. And you don't show any of the empathy for the rest of us like you're showing for Charlie Kirk. Now, let me, just to prove my point, just to prove my damn point, fam. Officer Tatum.
Move on. I want to go to some of the clips of let's see. I want to go to some of the clips of these naysayers. Amanda Seals is one of them. Now, this may be disturbing for some people, and I haven't watched all the other people because I just don't want to watch. Yesterday, it was too sensitive for me to watch somebody disparage Charlie. Like violence entered into my consciousness when I hear somebody say something about him after he lost his life. And I'm just saying this, and I'm being honest, and y'all pray for me. I better never hear anybody face to face disparage Charlie in front of me. I better never hear it. I'm going to deck you if I hear you say it in front of me. Just know that.
Where you going to be at, son?
I'm going to deck you.
Where you going to be at? Where you going to be at?
You better never
Where you going to be
disrespect Charlie in front of me. You can say it online. You can say it in front of me. You disrespect Charlie Kirk after he done got shot and killed. I'm not going to.
Hold on a second.
Hey,
hold on, dude.
Stay away from it.
He didn't get shot and killed for me. He didn't get shot and killed for black people. He got shot and killed because some asshole shot him. Stop making it seem like he's a civil rights leader. He wasn't a civil rights leader. Yeah, cut the shit. He is not Fred Hampton, dude. He was not. These jackasses be rewriting history, man. In real time, they be writing history. Fred Hampton never said any of the horrific shit. There's no way you're going to find him saying anything even close, even similar. This guy's saying that black women, you came out of a black woman's uterus, you jackass. This guy said black women don't have the mental capacity to hold credible jobs. Black women that went to Harvard and graduated and became doctors and lawyers, this guy's questioning their ability. Well, this fucker couldn't even barely made it out of high school. And you don't have a problem with that. You don't see that as racist. On what criteria can a person who could not finish a community college can label black women such negative things, fam, and it not be based on race? Why did he bring up any white women that weren't smart, that he thought were mentally challenged, not even mentally challenged, dude? He said mentally incapable, no processing power. That hints at genetics. And if I'm wrong, John, why did he talk about white women? Why couldn't bring up a white woman he disagreed with and then challenge them on their aptitudes? Why did he bring up some Asian women and challenge their aptitudes? Katie Fang, that's on MSNBC or CNN, on MSNBC. Why did he bring up Rachel Maddow? If it's just ideology, why did he bring up Rachel Maddow? She is or somebody on The View, the Alvarez chick on The View. There's a lot of white women with Michelle Dowd, there's Barry Weiss. There's a lot of white women in media. Why didn't Charlie Kirk use any of those white women to challenge them about their genetics, about their ability to think and process information? Why only black people? And why is that okay with you? And see, Officer Tatum, this is why we call you a sellout. This is why you can't come to cookouts. If you go to cookouts with them, you can all day. That's great. I'm glad you enjoy yourself over there. You will not inherit his legacy. You will not be the beneficiary. You will not ascend. I tell you, like I told those fools who thought they're going to overtake TYT, you black, it's not going to work. Build your own shit. You build your own shit. Stop being a hired hand and build your own shit. Tatum, build your own. Stop looking for white people to hook you up. Build your own. All this time is so out shit out your mouth all the time. And all you do is kiss white people's ass, hoping to get the hookup. And that's what this video is all about. You kissing ass, trying to get a hookup. See how much you can kiss his wife's ass at this point so you can get the hookup. I see through you. We see through you, sir. You're going to threaten the internet. And you know damn well all the trolls going to do is troll you and say negative things about Charlie just to do it. I don't know Charlie as a person, but any person that says my wife or my mother or my sister or my daughters, because of the color of their skin, they lack the ability to ascend. I take that personal. I take it personal enough to criticize them, not to get violent. What's there to get violent about? But I can criticize that all day. I'm a content creator. I have a mic just like you do. If he didn't want me to be upset about it, he didn't want me to comment on it, he didn't want me to have a retort for it, he shouldn't have said it. And if you felt so strongly that he should say it, or if you agree with it, that's fine. If you agree with it, that's fine. We disagree with it over here. I disagree with it. And black people had nothing to do with what happened to him. Nothing at all. We disagree with the shit he was saying about us. We weren't sitting around talking about him. What are you thinking about him? He's over there thinking about us. He's over those colleges. He's at white universities, around 95% white people talking about ninjas. And got your dumb ass over there with him. And he's saying it's to benefit us. Why didn't he go to Spelman with that bullshit? Since he didn't mean nothing by it. He trying to help us. All right, that's it, man. I don't think Charlie. I don't think Officer Tatum's friend. I'm sorry. I don't think Charlie Kirk's best friend. And he's your best friend because he puts you on. It's a lot of people he put on. He put a lot of money in a lot of black people's hands, didn't he? He already had to shit on the whole black community to do it. Guess it's an evil trade if you're a sellout. You ain't the only black man I seen come up. He helped me out. He really hooked me up. He did this for me, boss. He was good to me. These house Negroes running up. Meanwhile, he's selling other families off and splitting them up. Meanwhile, he lynching other people, Meanwhile, he's sending the house on other black folks, but he helped you. He let you stay in a big house. So he good for you. If he was racist, would he help me? He did what he needed to do. He put a battery in the back of a bunch of bigots on some anti-blackness in order to rise, to make his company rise, his organization to grow. He played the game. That's the game. You can't tell somebody that's here who knows the game that that's not part of the game. You play the game too. Democrats play the game and Republicans play a game. This is part of your game. Democrats pretend like they care about black people when they don't. And you pretend to hate black people when you don't. Bars. Now, rebut me. Rebut me, Tatum. And see, DL, this is the type of creative thinking that you can do on the fly when you're not a hack. But see, you can only do it if you're willing to go at Democrats and Republicans. That's what it looks like. That's how it's done. All right, guys, I got nothing but love for you. I thank y'all for sharing this moment with me. Officer Tatum, look, man, if you were good friends with Charlie Kirk, I get it, I understand it. I get it, man. But this was some bullshit. Don't crash out over this. You're not going to get the brass ring. Now, if you're not doing it for the brass ring, I got to ask, are you stupid? Because there's no reason to do it than if you ain't gonna benefit from it. Not at this level. And all those white folks watching and clapping, dude, you just revealed yourself to be a fool. You revealed yourself to be the worst. You just, listen, man. You just displayed the worst attributes that you could display that makes you volatile to them. You are done, sir. You are donezo. When the smoke settles, 3 months from now, when the right is like recleaning and it's healing, you will be out. You will be out because you just expose yourself as being volatile as hell. Mark my words, dude. You done. You're going to hate this video. You're going to hate what I'm saying. Look at it again in 3 months or 6 months. In 6 months, watch it again. And then holler at me. Or not. Don't matter because I'm right. All right, guys, where we at? Y'all good, fam? How we doing? I'd like to thank the Tim Black Wolfpack for being a part of this live presentation before we clip it up and send it out to the masses. Thank you for attending the live taping of the Tim Black Show. Let's go to the comment section with my people, my people, my people. The Quran approves this verse. Christian does not equal follower of Christ. These people prove that every day. Katrina Prada says, thanks for your time, Tim. You're a wise man out here in a sea of fools. We are good, fam. I know it's late as hell, guys. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Craig R. Craig R. Breton. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Kenny D in the building. Agent Black, my brother. Rebut me, pay. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Rebut me, man. You got all this smoke for everybody. .9%. I think I remember what you were talking about. All right, guys, that's it. I'm done. I'll see y'all on the next one. Till then, don't let anybody take your cornbread, fam. That's your cornbread. You're on high orders to keep your cornbread. All right, fam. And before I go, as always, I got to say it, man. Where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go.